but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's like, that's what it is, champ, I tell you. But Sebastian, I know my movie ending, I know my macros, and I know what it takes, but I still make irrational decisions that are holding me back. You know all of these things. You know all of these things. But you are still fucking up. You know all of these things. But you still have Snickers in your closet right now. You know all of these things. But you still didn't do your training. Why? Because you are in the gap. Comment number 2 if you want to hear what the gap is. When I created a gap, when I saw this, I was really proud of myself. I'm like, this makes total fucking sense. So I'm gonna show you the gap right now. If I see some 2s, you type number 2 and paste it if you want to hear about the gap. Alright, I see some 2s coming in. Here we go. I'm gonna share my screen. You can see my screen, right? Yeah? Cool, here we go. The gap. So, this place sucks. Nobody wants to stay in the gap. It sucks to be in the gap. So here's 2 graphs, right? On the left side, or is this the Y or the X axle? I don't know, but the vertical axle, which was, is the Y? Is the Y axis? Okay, so on the Y axle, we have what I like to call your be fit and sensualness. You can write your awesomeness, you can write your movie endingness, or you can write be fit and sensualness. Because it makes sense, right? And then on the x-axis you have time. And here is your knowledge. You know all of these things. You know how to eat. You know how to train. You've been watching the webinars. You know how to do, you have a good taste in what is good for you and your body, right? But then you've been fucking up for such a long time. Your habits has been chaos for such a long time. So your decisions are not acting in accordance with your knowledge. So you are in the gap. The gap is by definition when your be fit and sensualness doesn't match your decision. And this place sucks. It sucks ass to be there. Because everything is so clear, you know exactly what to do, you understand what to do, but you're still not doing it continuously. What should you do when you are in the gap? You should just keep on moving forward. That's what you should do. Done. Next. Did you fuck up this weekend? Perfect. Done. Next. Did you eat fantastic this weekend? Perfect. Done. Next. You move forward regardless on what is going on. You put your head down and you attack the hill. And it's very like, you know, masculine energy when I'm talking. But you just gotta stay. But you can also say, instead of, because it depends on how you frame it, right? Like that's how I frame it in my mind. But you can also say to yourself, it becomes the narrative that you put in your brain. It's like, instead of, yeah, but you gotta attack the hill, fuck it, 2 guns, here we go, attack, bring out the axe, like an old Viking. You can just say like, yeah, but you just gotta stay patient. You just gotta stay patient, you gotta keep on going. Every day you polish that diamond. Every day you polish the diamond, in this case being your dancing, or your yourself. Every day you polish that diamond, day in and day out. All right? Did the gap make sense? How many of you feel that you have been in the gap with your nutrition, or are currently in the gap with your nutrition? Take care, Lucy. That's the gap, and that shit beats you. That shit beats your brain. It's heavy. It's heavy, it's heavy. It sucks to be there. But now look at this. Look at this shit. Instead of saying knowledge, we write dance understanding, and instead of decisions, you write skills. And instead of writing beef and knowledge, you write bachata / dancing. No, it's awesomeness. That's beef and sensualness. But it's still the gap. It's still the gap. The gap comes when you've been hanging around. Look here. So you've been dancing for a few months now, or a few years even. And you know that whatever you see, when you see Korken, you really understand, like, wow, it's such a high level of bachata sensual. When you see Kel Flores going busy, it's like, Jesus Christ, what am I witnessing? It's such a high level. You see Alemana dancing, it's like, she moves like a fucking snake. It's like, what is going on here? You understand how good she is because you've been exposed to dancing. So, but if you show this to your friends who doesn't have this understanding, you talk to them like they are monkeys because they don't understand it. Now, but your skills, however, your skills haven't developed in the same speed as your dance understanding. So you are still in the gap. You are still in the gap, and that's when most people quit. That's when most people quit. They don't like what they see in the mirror. That's when most people quit. So don't quit. That's what I'm trying to say. Stay fucking on it. It's like, you've been messing up for I don't know how many years. How many years you've been messing up right now with your nutrition and training? You haven't trained for Lord knows how long. And now you telling me just because you put in 4 months of work and you didn't get to your movie ending, now you're willing to give up? They're like, come on, that's not fair. Like, that's not a fair metrics. It's like, here you go, Sebastian. I fucked up for 20 years. I give you 4 months, fix it. Like, that's not a fair metrics. Come on, champ. Like, that's not how this works. And you know it because it makes sense, right? Thumbs up if this makes sense. Perfect. Put that in your mind and let's get it together.